Hi, I'm Mr. Krieger. I'd like to begin this video by asking you a question. Can you identify the figure in this slide? Well, of course you can. It's Donatello. He's one of the 4 crime figures known as Teenage Ninja Turtles. But what could Donatello and the other Ninja Turtles possibly have to do with the SAT? Stay tuned and I'll explain. The Ninja Turtle action figures are often used as examples in a large group of vocabulary in context questions I call the Collectible Items cluster. A cluster is a set of questions based upon a specific topic. Each question in the Collectible Items cluster is concerned with a concept economists call speculative demand. Let me explain. Normally, when the price of a commodity goes up, demand goes down. But speculative demand is counterintuitive or contrary to common sense. It is very important to understand that when there is speculative demand for a product, buyers purchase it hoping to make a profit by reselling the item later at a higher price. Questions in the Collectible Items cluster begin by identifying a prized object, such as rare gold coins, scarce baseball cards, and of course, the Ninja Turtle dolls. The questions then identify a relatively recent time period when the price of the collectible item dramatically rose. College Board test writers have turned the economic principle of speculative demand into a difficult but easy to recognize cluster of vocabulary in context questions. The focus of each question is always on how the counterintuitive effect of speculative buying will affect demand. In each case, speculation will spark demand and cause prices to rise. College Board test writers use engendering, precipitating, catalyzing, and eliciting as answers for the questions in the Collectible Items cluster. Although these words do look very difficult, they are in fact synonyms meaning to cause something to happen. Each of the many versions in the Collectible Items cluster will have a single answer that will be either engendering, precipitating, catalyzing, or eliciting. These words will always have the counterintuitive effect of stimulating demand. Well, of course, College Board test writers have deployed an impressive arsenal of wrong answers for the questions in the Collectible Items cluster. Because the questions in this cluster have appeared in many tests, their wrong answers also appear in many lists of must-know vocabulary words. Well, let's take a look. Beware of monetize. Monetize means to convert something into a source of income. While the buyers of Ninja Turtle action figures and other collectibles are hoping to make money, monetize doesn't accurately describe the counterintuitive effect of rising demand on prices. I'd like you to also beware of exploiting. Exploiting means to take advantage of a situation. Well, now this is a very tempting answer because buyers do want to make a profit, but it doesn't fit the exact language of a question asking for the counterintuitive effect of rising demand on prices. Beware of appraising. Appraising means to assess the value of something. Although this is related to the situation, it doesn't describe the counterintuitive effect of rising prices on demand. And finally, beware of capitalizing. Capitalize means to take advantage of an opportunity. Buyers are trying to take advantage of a promising situation. But the focus of the passage is on the creation of demand and not the action of buyers. All right, we know extraneous information is one of the hallmarks of a vocabulary in context question. Don't be diverted by a phrase stating that buyers are, quote, thronging the market in the hope of making a later profit. Focus instead on the counterintuitive effects of how engendering, precipitating, catalyzing, and eliciting are stimulating demand. I'm pleased to report that the correct answers in the collectible items cluster are all defined and illustrated in my book, Winning Words. You can learn more about winning words by checking out my website, insidertestpreparation.com, or by looking at the book on Amazon. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm confident my series of videos on SAT vocabulary clusters will prevent you from being diabolically cooked by College Board test writers. In addition, be sure to check out YouTube for my series of videos on disputed questions and challenging critical reading passages. Well, once again, thank you very much and good luck on your test.